When you look at achievements in public office, Gus really made a difference. And sometimes they want to notice because they weren't exactly kids that other people cared about, but he cared. And I'm sure he'd be happy with his legacy on the fact that these kids are alive and not in jail because of things that he did. And I think that's probably the best legacy that anyone could have ever left us.
So some people just get involved in policy and they're sort of up here, and they're also doing great things and changing the system. But Gus was able to do both. He was able to effectuate policy and changes to our system, but he also cared about the everyday kid.
He was most recently helping me find housing for a young woman who graduated from FIU, but she wants to study medicine, and because she's already graduated, there's no housing for her. So he was helping me either raise money or find housing for her. So she has housing, and I can tell you that he's still helping Camila, and I know that she will one day pay it forward when she becomes a doctor, and we owe it to Gus to talk about ACEs in our community, adverse childhood experiences, and we owe it to him to help everyone heal, and we owe it to him to give an opportunity to kids who unfortunately end up in foster care. He had a soft spot for kids who were in foster care.
Gus was very detail-oriented, and he would always take whatever issues were in the case, and he would think of them on a grand scale and try to figure out how he could address those issues in a larger scale, because he figured if he's running into those issues as a volunteer, then chances are that they're happening on a lot of other cases.
He was just always thrilled and eager to help the families the best way that he could. He actually, when I say he went above and beyond, he truly went above and beyond.
So one of the greatest things that Gus did for these children, not only the children on his Garden ad Litem case, but also all the children in foster home, was he was able to get them Disney tickets. And he was able to, so the foster parent was able to take all the children in her home to Disney, including the 2 boys that he was a Garden ad Litem for. So that was really sweet.
Gus was a very involved leader. He did everything and anything that he could possibly do to make sure that our youth were being served. He would often come to the table and say, I don't care about the logistics of things, let's just get it done to make sure that we are doing what's in the best interest of all of our children.
Judge Liederman and I were doing programming for children in detention, both boys and girls. And I remember one specific program where Gus actually came into the detention center and talked to the girls. And I remember Judge Liederman and I being so shocked by that, that a legislator who was trying to raise money for a program would actually take the time to come into the detention center, sit down with the girls that were detained and talk to them about their lives, about their families, about their hopes. It's just a tremendous loss, but he leaves a tremendous legacy.
I would say thank you. Thank you, not just because of what you did for these kids, but because of the symbolism of it. Because of this, there were others that we found who had been hurt, others who had been forgotten. And he started a tradition that others have followed since. We have members of the legislature now who care as deeply about kids as he does. And I would say thank you for really starting the ball moving. Thank you for showing that these kids have worth that society has forgotten that they have. Thank you for making sure that kids who have been abused in boot camps back in the 60s and 70s were not forgotten. Thank you for giving a voice to the voiceless. He needs our thanks. I would say thanks. would say.